Hello, yes, hi, and welcome to the Dark Knight Conspiracies. Episode 9 Caught. The Boomerang is returning. Now, folks, I want to talk a little bit about projection. And for those of you that don't know what projection is, this has been in the Democratic playbook for 50 years. And projection is basically you accuse the other side of what you are doing to throw people off the track. So we're now seeing with these Hunter emails being released, and of course, the mainstream media, none of the main networks are covering any of it. And I'm talking CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, with the short example of Fox is at least covering this on most of their channels. Nobody is covering this. So, what are these emails showing us? Well, we're starting to learn more and more every day, and we're starting to see a pay for play and blackmail bribery scheme with the Biden family. And it lays out groundwork that, well, my opinion, if it's happening with them, well, it's happening with everybody in government to a certain extent. So we're starting to see proof that Hunter got 3.8 million from a former widow of the mayor of Moscow. We know he got money from China, and we know he got money from Burisma. And some of these emails are showing Hunter might have been a little disgruntled with his father in some of the texts that were revealed, and a text to his daughter where he claimed, well, unlike Pop, I'm not going to take 50%. So I've had questions about this laptop and how this whole thing happened. And if this laptop was dropped off by Hunter and not recovered, it doesn't make sense unless, was this an insurance policy for Hunter? Just like we heard the Anthony Weiner laptop was an insurance policy? People are speculating. The CUE board has speculated that maybe there's some dysfunction in the family. That maybe Hunter was the black sheep of the family and resented everything that was going on. I don't know. I can't prove it. All I can say is go out there and dig for yourself and discern for yourself. So, to get back to this projection theory of accusing the other side of what you're doing, so what did we hear for almost 4 years now since Trump has been elected? He's a foreign agent. He's compromised. Foreign countries have a hold on him. So I want to bring up an article in Political. Now, this was back in February of 2017. Pelosi calls for probe of possible Russian blackmail of Trump. Folks, this is what projection is. We're starting to see this with the emails of Hunter coming out. It wasn't Trump being blackmailed, it was the Democrats. And they're panicking right now. And I'll leave links to these articles so you can read and discern for yourself. So if we look at this article, Democrat leader Nancy Pelosi urged the FBI to probe President Trump's finances and personal ties to find out if the Russian government is blackmailing him. Again, saying this is a national security issue. Well, what was going on with the Biden family? Another article. And folks, I strongly suggest if you want to get honest reporting, you're not going to find it in this country. You got to go outside this country. The Daily Mail, UK, is a great source. It's got a lot of garbage on it, but it's a great source to find out if you want to know what's going on in this country, because they report stuff that you will not find in our media. So here's an article from January of 2019. Again, Pelosi suggests Trump is being blackmailed by Putin and blasts his campaign over the Roger Stone indictment. Full disclosure here, I'm not a fan of Roger Stone. I think this guy is a nutcase. Anybody that puts a tattoo of Nixon on his back, I think has issues, but that's just my personal opinion. But here we go into the article. Again, suggesting Trump is being blackmailed by Russia. Folks, this is projection. They accuse the other side of what they're guilty of, and we're starting to see it with the Hunter Biden emails. That, and I'm going to say, a majority of Democrats are probably compromised by China. Make no mistake, China is the biggest threat to this country. They have been since the 90s when Clinton and his campaign were selling national security, military secrets to China and North Korea. And you can look this all up on the internet, folks. I'm not going to get into all that. Look it up for yourself. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to do the work yourself. Because I could do 2-hour episodes on this stuff. My point is to get something out quick, get some facts out quick, and then you discern for yourself. So if we go to before we go to the Gateway Pundit, I'm going to leave a link to a CNN interview with Wolf Blitzer and Nancy Pelosi. It's a 13-minute interview. I will leave a link in my description so you can go and watch it for yourself. These people are turning on themselves now, all of a sudden. And Wolf Blitzer, to my surprise, attacks Nancy Pelosi ferociously. And she is not, I'm sorry, if there's anybody that needs to be brought before Congress as unfit to run office, it's Nancy Pelosi. These people are losing their minds. They're desperate and they're panicked. So I'll leave that link in the description. You can watch the video for yourself. So if we go to the Gateway Pundit today, which again, I think this is a good website for everybody. If you want to get your news, look at these topics out here. Email sent to computer shop owner John Paul Mac Isaac from Hunter Biden's attorney is released. Now, this article basically says the attorney tried to get the laptops back. I think, again, it's after the fact. And there is some confusion about this because I'm going to tell you, I liked Rudy Giuliani with what he did with 9/11. I do believe he's somewhat involved in that conspiracy, possibly made a deal. I don't know. I can't prove it. But here's my thing on Rudy. Every time that guy gets on TV, he F's everything up. So it took me a couple of days to unravel this story because I'm like, the first story was, well, Rudy got the laptop. Then you heard a story, oh, no, no, the FBI had the laptop. Well, if the FBI had the laptop, how did Rudy get it? Well, now we're coming to find out the FBI had the laptop from this computer owner because he feared for his life. At first, the FBI had no interest in it. Now, all of a sudden, okay, they took the laptop from him. Well, this computer shop owner must have got worried because he created an insurance policy and he copied the hard drives. And then that's what he turned over to Giuliani. So basically, they set the FBI up if you follow this story. And this is what you're starting to see. We're also seeing all of a sudden Steve Bannon's coming out. And he says he's got information that corroborates Giuliani and this computer shop owner. Well, not too long ago, we saw Steve Bannon was indicted for a false, or I'm not going to say false, but basically a fraud scheme on, raising public funds through GoFundMe or whatever. Now, getting into the conspiracy things, this New York Southern District Attorney's Office is just corrupt as you can believe. James Comey's daughter works in this department. She was initially assigned the whole Epstein investigation before he was suicided. I mean, the dots, the corruption, it's unbelievable how all these people are connected, relatives. You can look at the people in the media and who their spouses are. Do that research. You'll be amazed what you find out of all these people in the mainstream media that are on TV, who their spouses are and who they're connected to. This is a vast network. It's no reason, you know, people are out there crying for arrest, crying for, oh, we haven't seen anything. I'm going to tell you people right now, you're not going to see an arrest before the election. You never were. The key to this election is Trump has to be reelected. Then I believe the arrests will happen. And if they don't, then it's up to us, the American people, the patriots, to get out there and start holding Trump accountable. Because in my opinion, with all this stuff going on, now with this laptop, I am pissed off. Why isn't Congress bringing these people before them? They need to bring Christopher Wray, head of the FBI, Gina Haspel, head of the CIA, and Bill Barr, head of the DOJ. They need to come before Congress or have a press conference or something. Somebody needs to explain why this stuff hasn't been released, why they've been sitting on it all these years. The American people deserve answers. So here are some other articles. Here we go. FBI at it again. 1 month after FBI took possession of Hunter laptop, New York Times reported Burisma hacked by Russia to embarrass the Bidens. So here we go again. Back to Russia. Russia's done all this stuff. Russia hacked the DNC computer. Well, I can tell you, for most people that follow the CUE movement and are on top of this stuff, Seth Rich is the name that comes to mind. And WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, is the key to all this. He knows who hacked that DNC computer. He knows who gave him that information. I will bet everything I own it wasn't Russia that hacked the DNC computer. Bill Benny has proven this through forensic computer technology. There's no way that this was hacked because the download percentage of the bytes could only have been done through a hard drive into the computer. Again, you can research all that for yourselves. Hunter Biden's computer camera roll turned over to Bannon and Giuliani contains 25,000 images with sexually explicit selfies and porn. I'm going to get back into the projection again because what did we see at these town halls? Biden got lofted softball after softball after softball. One of the people that asked him a question, lo and behold, we come to find out, was employed by the Obama administration and was his speechwriter. Go figure. Biden sat while he was getting these questions from the people and George Stephanopoulos. Joe Biden had notes in his hand that he was reading. I mean, come on, people. They're giving him the questions in advance. This is so obvious. My prediction, there will not be a third debate next week. It's not going to happen. There's no way they're going to let Joe Biden get on live TV with Donald Trump in the same room because you know Trump's going to bring up all this Hunter Biden stuff. There's just no way this debate's happening. So I could be wrong. Just my prediction. But getting back, we saw Guthrie on NBC, supposed to be a town hall. She asked 43 questions to Donald Trump and only 10 questions from the audience. This was supposed to be a town hall all about the people asking the questions. And she attacked him and attacked him. And again, the projection attacks him on the white supremacy issue. You can go back and look up 3.5 years of video of Donald Trump denouncing white supremacy. He designated the KKK as a terrorist organization. Yet nobody's asking the Democrats to denounce Antifa or Black Lives Matter. No siree, those are legitimate organizations. And we just saw massive violence in San Francisco last night. And that could be a topic for another show. But the key focus after she went into that whole thing, and Donald Trump said, how many times do I got to do this? Then she brings up the QAnon people and how they're Satanists, or they're against Satanists, and they're against pedophilia, and that's what they're investigating. Well, again, Donald Trump addressed this before on live TV. You got a problem with that? Is that something wrong? They're trying to get ahead of the story because this is going to be the next bomb that drops with Hunter Biden. And I believe they're starting with him because he's small. They're going to get people used to it before they start dropping bigger names. And you are going to see Hollywood people. You are going to see government people. Folks, for all of you that don't believe that most of this government in our country are not bribed or blackmailed, you're fooling yourself. I'm going to guesstimate 85% of these politicians. And if you don't believe it, research, since Trump took office, Research how many people have retired or decided not to run. These are people that realized what was coming and got out of the game, and they made deals. The ones that are staying in, they got nothing else to lose. They don't want to lose power. So we're in for it, folks. If you think this is all going to end on November 3rd, you're kidding yourselves. It's going to get ugly, especially if Trump has a clear landslide victory. Because I tell you, Biden wins, they're going to pack the court. They're going to get rid of the Second Amendment. They're going to get rid of freedom of speech. They're going to get rid of the Electoral College. This country will turn into Venezuela. And all these politicians have been compromised. China is our biggest threat, and they blackmail and bribe most of our politicians. And this is why you're seeing the panic in D.C. right now. So that's my rant for the day. That's my episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter at the Dark Knight _617. Hit the subscribe and like buttons. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. Stay safe. Stay vigilant. And we'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Good night.